Hello everybody, it's Rob the Replicator here. I'm just doing a week 1 review of Replicator 3 Mutants vs. Machines, and also just talking about how I've set up the campaign for those who are looking to improve their own campaign, or just get some tips or ideas or anything along those lines. Okay, so first off, 288 backers, 19,442 US dollars. That's incredible. We had 204 backers day 1, which was insane. We kind of have a system now on how we approach day 1. We did it with Kozor, Descent into Madness, where we streamed for 12 hours on how to draw comics. While that was Corey and I, and then Clayton went around and did as many different shows as he could. And that worked really well. That was their first project, and they had 149 backers on day 1. So incredible stuff there as well. Yeah, and we've built up relationships with people. We've been doing a show for close to a year now. I'll probably say, we promote people. We're friends with people, we're part of the community. These are things that you have to do. You can't just rock up and expect people are going to give you money. They need to get to know you as a person, know that you're the real deal, that you're legit, and all those sorts of things. So it's very much give and take in this Comicscape community. You're not going to get anywhere if you just take from the community. All right, so in saying that, yeah, sensational start, polar opposite of what happened last time. Last time I was meant to launch on someone's show, didn't happen. That's my fault. I was mainly disappointed in myself because you shouldn't be relying on people. It's great when people are able to help you out, but to be relying on someone else, it is, it's a recipe for disaster, really. So I ended up launching just before bed on the previous campaign because I said I would. I like to try and keep, my word wherever possible. And the first day we had like 30 or 40 backers. It turned out all right in the end. We had 312 within the 60 days and 509 before we wrapped up in demand. So yeah, all in all it was okay, but that forced me to create that crowdfunding document, the how to crowdfund comic document, just because I wanted to put down everything that I did wrong and everything that I think works, and so I did that, and as you can see, the results are incredible in comparison to that last campaign. We've nearly beat the 312 backers within 1 week, so 1 week compared to 60 days. And in the first 3 days of the campaign, we've beaten the total amount raised for the previous campaign. So really cool stuff there. Take from that what you will. Let's go through the campaign and just point out some things that I think work really well and why I've done some things. So I'm not going to play the video, but the video is pretty decent. I think when you're making a video, you need to have a serious consideration about how much effort you're putting into it and how good the quality is going to be. I think these days a minimum is a voiceover. A lot of the time you'll just see floating images with text, which is not good enough anymore, because when you're going on people's shows and they play your video pretty much all the time, and you're basically competing against these people. If your video is terrible, it's going to turn people off. I mean, and you're getting your video shown to thousands of people potentially, so it's got to be good. You can't hear it. Von's doing an epic voiceover here. You know, and he's got, you know, some graphics happening. But anyway, that's just a quick point. Going straight in here, we've got Replicator 3 is a 32-page full-color comic book in the ongoing Replicator series. So it tells you straight away what it is. It's 32 pages, it's full color, it's ongoing series, it's number 3. It also says you can get 1 and 2 for 88 pages in total. And then it's got just like a quick little log line type intro here. And then it's straight into the cover, which is incredible. We have a little bit more of an expansion on the intro. And then it's art, 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 art. Right, and then there's a little bit more expanded on the intro again, just a little bit what it's like, what it's similar to, why I've done it, that kind of thing. And then we have the variant covers, one by Dan Fragger, one by Rob Willis. This also says that it's a black and white line art only edition. And then it just gives a bit of example of what you can expect to see in the comic with the black and white. We have the team here. Funnily enough, I forgot to put myself on, so I'll probably update that at some stage. One thing to note though is like these sections are really clean. Like we've got the team, we've got what is Replicator, variant covers. It's really pleasant to read in my opinion. Like there's not a ton of graphics, there's barely any graphics. I'll go over that in a second as well. But I don't go into detail here about, you know, everyone's credits, what they've been in. Like I could say Aaron is the artist on Graveyard Shift Jawbreakers 3, which I do actually say in the video because it is a unique selling point. But, you know, I don't go over it all. I mean, I could, but then this becomes really, really long. This would probably be as long as these two sections combined. Which I don't like. It just, you know, you want to keep the text to a minimum, in my opinion. So that's something to do. I've got some frequently asked questions here. Will I get my book? Yes, you will. This is the 6th crowdfunding campaign I've done, and I've delivered on all of them. We'll talk a little bit about the shipping here. Gemini-like mailer, bagged and boarded. All parcels come with international with tracking for international backers. And then I just say we take as many precautions as possible to make sure your comics arrive in perfect condition, but I'll gladly replace them if there's any damages or anything along those lines. How far along is the book? This is another important one. I like the graphic here. I stole this from Michael Bancroft's The Lucent. I think it's just a really simple visual idea of how far the book is. So you can see pencils, inks, 90% done, colors are halfway there. So that is one of 2 graphics that, one graphic I would definitely have, and then the other you could do, again, in my opinion, is this part here. You might have 32 pages and you might have 88 pages total, full color, that as a graphic. I don't mind either way. I actually probably prefer it this way. I think the text is really, it's just simple. I was looking at doing graphics for this, but ultimately I felt it just took away from the text and the text, you know, from the art really. So I decided not to. I was doing like, this is a graphic, this is a graphic, but it was ultimately too much for me. And then we have the add-ons here. So these are just a few things. If people are interested in getting the add-ons, which have done really well, they can click, or they can read about it here and then click it. And then we've got the stretch goals. Again, with the stretch goals, so this is a bit different to what people normally do. And again, it is a graphic. So yeah, what people normally do is they have text. They'll have like stretch goal 20,000, unlock print, like here, as an example. I talk to backers about this in particular, people that actually back Comicsgate books or comics in general. and they really like the idea of a visual representation of what you're getting. So I put together these graphics, and one other thing I did was, these are all really achievable goals. Like they're not 25, 50, 75, 100,000, for example. Like they're 4, 8, 12, 16. Like we've already smashed that in 1 week. 4 stretch goals in 1 week, right? So people are going to get lots of extra stuff with their pledge, which I think is really cool. And I had these up from the start. We had a really low funding goal. It was like 400 US bucks or something like that. So I thought I might as well chuck them on, and I think these 2 were gone in the first day. I'd have to double check, but the point is, people like to know what the stretch goals are going to be. You don't have to have 4 to 150,000 laid out. You can have 4, 8, 12, 16, and then when they come close, you can add some more. Like we're nearly at this one now, so I'll probably add the next 2 up shortly, and that way people get excited. They check back on the campaign quite a lot. You'd be surprised how many people come back and check on the campaign to see how it's going and what other things have been unlocked. Because you want people who are on the fence to get off the fence at some stage and back the comic. And you want people that have backed it already to be sharing it out because they want the next stretch goal for themselves. So that's just some really simple things here. To sum it up, though, you want to have what it is right up top here. A little bit of like a logline, description about what it's about. Then a cover. You can do another one or something else there. And then you want art. And you don't want too much art either. I think it's a fine balance. I think we've got 5 pieces. Yep, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and then we've got 1.5 black and white as well as the cover here. You see some campaigns that have like 10 or 20 or 30 pages, and it's too much. It's too much. You got to understand that people they don't want too much information. They want a short amount of information. That's why, like, when I write a campaign, I write it for myself as a person, because I have a really short attention span and I lose interest really quickly. So everything has to be really simple, laid out really clearly, and give me the information that I want. Like, if I don't want to read this, I won't. I'll just skip this. The art looks fantastic. I'll buy it based off the art alone. As long as I've answered the questions that I need to know. How long is it? How many pages am I getting? Is it full color? All those sorts of things. Yeah, and just like these ones here, you don't need to do these either. I think these are cool because you need to know if you're getting your book, how it's going to get shipped, because you hear horror stories of people shipping without bags and boards, without, in like an envelope, in the Ziploc bags. And it's like, come on, man. We've got to do better than that. And this, I would really recommend. You should have this somewhere at some point in the campaign, just to keep people, knowing that the book's getting created. Like, it's not just the money's going nowhere and you're running off with the money. So that's really good. And the stretch goals, yeah, visual representation is better than a non-visual representation, I think, based on what I've heard from backers. And then the rewards. Okay, so this is one of the most important things about the whole campaign, is the rewards. You need to have what they are and a visual representation of that. That is, I don't know how to say it more clearly than that. But you don't want to have Replicator super duper tier Replicator mega awesome tier, Replicator kick ass tier. You know what I'm saying? Replicator, all 3 issues. Then there's a visual representation of all 3 issues. 1, 2, 3. Replicator 3, Kane and White cover. There it is right there. Rob Willis cover. Dan Fragger cover. All 3 covers. Everything. And then you have some original art. I'll talk about that in a second, actually, because that's really interesting. But yeah, please do this. Please don't name your tiers stupid things. Keep it really simple. Really clean visual representation. Don't chuck too many words on here or graphics. Like, just keep it nice and clean. One other point is to, I heard Ethan and your boy Zach talking about this. I don't think your boy Zach had a number on his campaign. It was like Jawbreakers, and then he had a title. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's not the point anyway. The point was, I was just going to have Replicator 3. I added Mutants versus Machines onto it. I think it adds a lot to it, to the title. It makes it a lot more exciting. So that's just something you can do. Like Ethan has Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, I think it is off the top of my head. You know, and so on. And then, yeah. Oh, this is the other really important point, is this is Replicator 3, right? So featured tier, all 3 issues, right? So someone who's new to Replicator can come and pick this up straight away, right? There is no confusion. They can go, I've missed out on issue 1 and 2, but issue 3 looks sick. Why don't I get everything? Bam, right here. Don't make it complicated. Don't make them have to do add-ons to get it, because they won't. There's no chance. If you have a project that I have to back, you know, the 3rd issue, and you're wanting me to choose add-ons to do it, not going to happen. If there's not a clear tier for it, it just won't happen. So yeah, really important. Make sure that is featured, or at least very clear as to what for them to get. Yep, okay, and here is another one, the Dan Fragger. I wasn't going to put this up initially, but I was speaking to a few backers. Again, why people don't do this. You know, you can speak to people about it. You can get their opinions on your campaign. And people were saying they wanted to back the Dan Fragger on day 1, but it wasn't an option. So they probably just back something else. And I'm like, well, that's pretty shit, isn't it? You know, you want... I'm not giving you, the customer, what you want. So I decided to add it in with a blank cover. I've told people that it's going to be hopefully coming later during the campaign. When it does, I'll probably remove this tier and just put it up with the picture, because you can't change it once it's been claimed. And look at that. I mean, we've had 18 people claim a blank cover just because Dan Fragger is doing it. So yeah, I mean, that is 18 potential sales that may or may not have happened because I added this on. So that's just something to consider. One other thing too is, we're speaking to backers. They hate it when you add tiers in during the campaign that they didn't know were coming, right? So, for example, if I didn't mention a Dan Fragger cover was coming, like if this wasn't here and I didn't mention it down here in the variants, like if this wasn't here at all, and I just dropped a Dan Fragger cover at the end of my first 30 days, they'd get pissed off, because you know, they want to know what's going to be happening with the campaign. They want to plan to spend their money efficiently in the best way possible for them. So dropping stuff out of the blue is not cool for them. If you let them know it's coming, Like if you let them know this Dan Fragger cover is coming in the on day 27, keep an eye out. That's fine. They can back something now and pick that up later, or they can wait. That's up to them. They just don't like being kept out of the loop and then having things dropped on them. Okay. Let's talk about this Rob Willis cover for a second. As you can see, it's already sold out. I only dropped that a few days ago. And what I did was I did an update. I just said more original art incoming. I'll talk about this in a second. The 5 original art pieces are sold out. I told them how much it was going to be and when I was going to release it, because how annoyed are you when you're working or you're on holiday, or your computer's blown up, you don't have access to the campaign, or you forget about it for a couple of days for whatever reason, and someone drops a reward in there and it's a 24-hour thing or a 72-hour thing or whatever, and you miss out because you weren't aware of it, right? That just pisses you off. So that's what I did. I told them it was going to be up. I told them what time. If more than one person wanted it, they were. I let them know, and they had to be quick. That's all they had to do, right? And I think that worked really well. It sold out within the day, which was really cool. The other thing I did, which I've since hidden because this is personal preference, but I don't like it when there's a ton of rewards like displayed on this right panel here, like when they've been claimed and you can't access them anymore. I just think it looks messy, and I like a clean looking campaign. So I hid those, but what I did was I'd 0 out of 5 original art pieces, and the difference was that there was a link down on the campaign in this facts section here, down here somewhere, and it took you to a Google Drive folder where you could view 17 original art pages, and then it was simply that the person, the backer, the first one, first come, first served, could select which original art piece they wanted. And they all sold out within like 3 or 4 days. So that is something else you could do, and I think it is really powerful because I didn't expect them to sell out that quickly, and they did. And they sold for about 250 US, so pretty decent amount of money for me, and really good value for them too, because it's not like you're just giving them whatever piece of art and they have to like it. They got to choose some of the most badass pages from this comic book to put up at home on their wall, and like what else can you ask for? So yeah, and I guess the other thing is there's an everything pack which has gone off really well. Like we're nearly halfway through claiming it there. That was going like better than the Canaan White cover, which is now at 55 claimed, which is crazy. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it's because this is a limited edition cover that people can still get. Maybe it's because it's a limited number. Maybe it's because there's a discount. Maybe because it's good value. I don't know, but that's something else to consider. And finally, secret perks too. We have about 90 plus secret perks claimed from 280, so that is pretty damn good. You may or may not be aware I did original art pages as a sign-up bonus reward, and we got like 680 plus sign-ups, which was crazy. That's like, I think Shane Davis had over 1,000. You know, John Malin had like maybe under 2,000. So like they're huge numbers in comparison. So yeah, that is something to consider as well. Normally people offer like a trading card, which is cool, but you know, original art, the chance of winning is much cooler. Like, how cool would it be, right, if say Ethan or John Malin offered an original art piece as a raffle contest? You know, so some person who can't afford to spend, you know, $1,500 to $10,000 on one of their pieces had the chance to win it. Like, you know, have that piece up behind you on the wall. You know, I think that's incredible. I'd love it if they did something like that. I think that would be so cool. Even Dan Fragger, man, like, yeah, he should definitely do it because he's drawing all the time. Yeah, so that is all. Please let me know if you have any questions. I think I covered most of the things I wanted to explain. And like I said, man, this is my opinion. It's you know, I'm not the expert. I've just tried to learn from things that haven't worked for me in particular. So take it as you will. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll put the link to the how to crowdfund your comic document in the description, and the link to the campaign. If you haven't backed it, please do. It's a sensational book. You know, the art sells itself. Like, the art's top quality. Yeah, so anyway, thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.